Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome to a brand new live stream. Today, there's very interesting stuff to talk about because obviously the market has been nuking, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin real quick just before getting into the main sauce and the big topic of today's live stream. But I have a narrative that blends meme coin and privacy coin that it's actually been thriving and making numbers. We'll be making several of these calls in my private community, and this is kind of like regardless of the people talking about the bear market, the downtrend of everything. So I really want to bring it to you guys because I don't think that enough people are talking about it, and I might actually be one of the first guys on YouTube ever to talk about this. And I'm joined by two of my team members. We have Plex, that you guys should already know because it was on the Banter live stream, and we actually made a live call on Saturday we absolutely nailed it. So we're going to talk quickly about that. And we also have 𝗙𝗲𝗃, so everybody get to know 𝗙𝗲𝗃, another one of my team members, one of my top researchers. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure to have you here, bro. Plex, how you doing today?
All good, all good. How about you guys?
Good. I mean, the market is what it is, but we still have ways to make money. So before getting into the topic of today, let's just talk about what's happening with Bitcoin, because I think that we have touched once again another like critical level, and we're kind of like,
Yeah, so what happened is that in the live stream on Saturday, I said that my level to open along was 92,944, and what a call, guys. I mean, it doesn't happen every day to get a sniper entry like this. The chart is in 15 minutes. So we got this crazy entry. We went to TP1, we went to TP2, brought home all the profit, and now the price is going down again in the same area. What can happen now? I think the next level of interest is gonna be potentially 87, looking at the orders. But the market is very volatile at the moment, right? So I'm not trading Bitcoin in this moment. I want to see how it reacts, how it behaves in this area here. And let's see what else is going on. I mean, we are looking also to over charts. And I mean, I was surprised about pump. What happened to pump in the last like 15 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, all outs are getting smashed. Like, to be honest, guys, we're not taking an excessive number of trades in this very moment. Like, we really want to... We are ranging. We're going sideways. Like, it goes up, goes down. Like, for instance, we were pumping on the Asia session. Then the US session gets in, and we pump again. We dump, then we pump, and then we dump again. Like, it's crazy. Like, trading on this shop, it's not safe. So just don't go all in. Don't force trades. It's way better to like not trade than forcing trades. But I really wanted to just show you that just like we did it here, and I actually have. Wait, let me put it here. Like we put our money where our mouth is. Like we've been freaking printing. We have also posted like screenshot of proof and everything. But we actually called this on Banter on Saturday, and then a couple of days later, there he was, and with the TP2. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Plexos for doing this. Freaking crazy. And if you want to get all the entries, you guys know where to find them. It's going to be one of the first links down in the description to join the VIP group. If you're not in there, I don't know what to tell you, because pretty much 99% of people are losing money in this very moment. We are still able to make money and make the money, the month green, which is freaking crazy. Okay, now I actually want to talk about the narrative of today's video. So 𝗙𝗲𝗃, why don't you introduce this narrative, since you're the researcher obviously that brought this to my attention, and it's definitely something interesting that is worth noting because it's been pumping regardless of this market, and this is...
Yeah, so it's Anoncoin, and you guys were talking about the market going down, but I haven't actually experienced that at all. I've been trading memes every day and buying, holding, accumulating, trading, just everything on Anoncoin because I think it's the last big meme narrative of the cycle.
I agree.
What it is it's an anonymous launch pad where a dev can launch a token, but it doesn't reveal who it is, but it reveals how many followers they have and also one person that they're followed by. So this is a story as old as Bitcoin itself, where till this day we still speculate about who launched Bitcoin. You know, like who was Satoshi Nakamoto. So this is something I think that's super, super interesting, where you can leverage your influence as an influencer. If you have, 100,000 followers, 250,000 followers or something, you can launch a project and not be public with it. And, everyone wants to speculate about who it might be. You can start to narrow things down as well. If you look at 𝗲𝗏𝘁, for example.
Let me get it.
Yeah.
We just find it.
So yeah, if you go, so it was actually at the top, but yeah, the top one, 𝗲𝗏𝘁 coin. So this was launched by an ex-user that has 1 million followers or more, and it's followed by that account where it says in the black on the right, followed by 𝗙𝗵𝗽𝗏𝗃. Now there's only a few people that it could be, and the community is convinced that it's Elon Musk. Now, whether it is or not, who knows? But the speculation, I think, is very, very interesting. And every time Elon tweets a picture of a cat, then, people are liable to speculate more. So I think it's super interesting. Now, something else to mention is that the only narrative that's really hot right now is the privacy meta. So obviously this ties in with the privacy meta. Another thing I want to mention that I think is really important is that once a ticker has been launched, no one else can use that ticker. The problem with Pump Fund...
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, is this what Pump Fund was actually discussing to implement over the last week, right?
Yeah, I think people have realized that on Pump Fund, it's a big problem where, I've been bullish on, for example, Wojak, and I thought there's going to be a big Wojak. Is it going to be the Pump one? Is it going to be the Bonk one? And then they release another one on Pump. And you can buy the right narrative, but end up with the wrong CA. On Anoncoin, it's impossible, because once you've launched something, that's it then. Once someone has launched it, there can't be another one. Now, the volume on a lot of these memes is pretty slow, but people tend to be holding a lot more with that in mind. They know, if I buy, for example, Monco, there can't be another Monco, there can't be another 𝗏𝗍𝗍. Let's maybe scroll up to 𝗏𝗍𝗍, actually, because this is a very interesting one. Now, don't click on the, if you click on the Anonfather just underneath 𝗏𝗍𝗍, so on the left, yeah, so go on 𝗏𝗍𝗍.
Okay.
Yeah, click on 𝗏𝗍𝗍, and then where it says 𝗏𝗍𝗍, click on Anonfather, and it reveals which other coins the deployer has launched. Now, this deployer launched Anoncoin itself, and there have been hints and speculations that 𝗏𝗍𝗍 will be like an AI bot or AI companion for the platform. Whether it'll have any utility or not, who knows? But everyone in crypto is thirsty. So 𝗏𝗍𝗍, I think having a 𝗏𝗍𝗍 AI assistant that is incorporated in the platform is going to get a lot of attention. The more
but let us try to understand. So this is the same dev wallet of Anoncoin.
Yes. So the person, and it's only not financial advice, but I've got myself a nice bag. Just, you can see Anoncoin is over 5 million, and that's the launchpad token.
Yeah.
And they've only launched one other one.
Yeah, it looks basically free. If it's like this guy launched just Anoncoin and this one that is 90K. Yeah.
Now, it's also not known who the Anoncoin team is, but it's widely speculated that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who's the head of product at X, added over $100,000 of liquidity to the project. And he's also an advisor for Solana, who's sort of in charge of helping launch and grow apps. So this makes perfect sense. But you can't think of this as just a Solana play, because importantly, when Dojo.s goes live, people will be able to bridge their tokens from Anoncoin to Doge. And this is the first launchpad platform for Dogecoin, as in the original biggest ever meme coin of all time. So you would think with all of the liquidity on Doge, people are going to want to buy memes on Doge, and they're going to want to buy the biggest memes on Doge. You have some guys in crypto who, they may not own Bitcoin, they may not own Solana, they've been accumulating Dogecoin for years just because it's very well known and Elon talks about it. So this will be the first launch pad on Dogecoin, and I think that's another huge reason to be excited about it. That hasn't happened yet, but when Dojo.s goes live, then you will be able to bridge both Anoncoin and the memes on Anoncoin between the two.
Yeah, I think that the narrative is just like too strong to ignore. And honestly, we've been making crazy gains already with, I don't think that we had like 10,000 different coins or, you know, launches that we shared. But I think that every single one that we shared was all the way up. Like Monco, I remember you didn't share it first. Jeff shared it. He's another one of my researchers. But like 6x from the alerts. So we got it at 66K in market cap.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy. It went to 413. Like, that's crazy. Look at the chart.
They're building two different games for this, and I see it as being one of the premium memes on the chain. I think it's maybe the second, third, fourth biggest token, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're cooking, and you can pay attention to the Anoncoin X account and you sort of see which projects they believe in and they're pushing, and they've been starting to push Monco more and more, as well as pushing Vibecoin.
And the thing that also,
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. The thing that also made me so bullish, this is followed by Alon. Like, what the hell? Like, I don't know how many of these like very low cap degen plays he really follows, but every time that Alon interacts with something, like, obviously, and it's not pump fun, you know, like usually if he interacts with something, it's going to be something that is pump fun related. This time he interacted with something that was launched from another launch, but that's quite huge. I don't think that he's ever done it before, or if he's done it, it's probably, you can count them on one hand, you know.
So I also want to point out that while the market's been going down, Anoncoin has been both recovering and going up.
Yeah, let me grab the chart.
If you think about the targets of, I'm not saying it necessarily goes to billions, but who knows, but Pump Fund peaked at 5.2 billion. Bonk, which had a launch pad that did very well, went to 4 billion. And this is now, what, 5 million, 6 million, that kind of range, with a previous all-time high of about 22 million, something like that. So actually, when things like flywheels are introduced and there's a lot more trading of the coins, then a certain percentage of the trading fees will no doubt go back to buying and burning the token. I'm assuming, I'm not sure if that's actually announced, but that's something that you can see happening in the future. And I think if you've got thousands of, or potentially in future, you know, millions of coins trading on this platform, and there's fees that are going back into buying and burning the token, you know, this is 5 million, not 5 billion. So for me, I've been in stables and Anoncoin only and Anoncoin eco plays from when Bitcoin was towards the top, because I see this as being the only thing I'm interested in at the moment. And I'm having loads of fun trading, which I think has been missing from Pump Fund in a while, and been missing from the trenches in a while, because, you know, the amount of scams and rugs, and there's a really nice culture, perhaps because it's attached to Dogecoin, and Dogecoin being kind of the original, the daddy. I feel it's quite poetic if the salvation of memes is to come from the Dogecoin launchpad. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, if we compare just like the market cap of Pump or the Pump token, and I'm not saying that this is gonna go to the market cap of Pump, like I'm absolutely not saying that, but still, even a fraction of the movement that it could achieve. And also, I'm quite surprised to see it like hold the price so stable today, because I mean, if we look at Plex, can you bring the Pump chart today?
The chart is better than Bitcoin.
Yeah, but I was talking about like
today.
Specific narrative, but Bitcoin, yeah, we're up. Like, it's freaking crazy. Let's bring the freaking chart of Pump. Like, Pump is getting like nuked. We were actually trying to think about a long. Look at that. I'm so glad that I didn't open a long. Look at this chart.
Yeah, no,
Bro.
Well, I'm not going to comment too much, but Anoncoin is where you should be looking. If the ticker ends in Doge, which all of the new contracts do, then yeah, it's something to pay attention to. The way I kind of suggest scanning is you just go on the website and then you can scroll through and see what you like. Now, for example, today I bought a tiny little one called Latina just because I like Latinas.
Who does?
Yeah, exactly. Who doesn't? Which crypto bro does not like Latinas? And it's, I think, 10K market cap right now. So obviously not financial advice. It's brand new, but why not? I'm having loads of fun. I'm just, you know, buying $50 or $100 or something, and you can grab 1% of Latina for like $100 or something like that. So
yeah, I mean,
why
it's 10K
not?
market cap, so take it as you wish, guys. I mean, whatever. I don't need to repeat like the risk of buying something that is a 10K market cap shitter, but I mean, it's funny. And yeah, I like that they're also animated, and obviously there's not the fact what Casablanca was saying before of the exclusivity. Like once like an image is used, like it can be used again. Does it go both image and ticker or just one?
I'm not sure if you can use the same image twice or not. I haven't seen any duplicate images, but it does have a really nice social element where if I share, hang on, if you go on my, let me find a tweet. So if you tweet at Anoncoin, or what's the, at Anoncoin it, with a reply, it will generate a video reply for you. And the AI video generation is very good. So I'm just trying to find one. I can't find one right now. But yeah, there's a really nice social element where when you're tweeting at Anoncoin IT, then it will generate a cool image.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely bullish. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Why do you think, though? Because I really wanted to ask you this, like, to conclude this conversation. Why do you think this kind of niche that blends indeed like privacy and meme coins, why is it been holding up so well while everything else has been dumping?
Okay, good question. Elon has been tweeting recently that X will release X money. On the same days, he's also tweeting things like Dogecoin to the moon. And he's been tweeting loads of different Dogecoin memes, like the dog playing a banjo, all these kind of things.
Yeah.
At the same time, simultaneously, an hour later or before, tweeting X money is coming. I think it's a distinct possibility that Dogecoin will be a payment option whereby if you have an X account, you have a wallet and you can send one another Dogecoin. The type of adoption you're talking about there is huge, where you're onboarding millions of people who have an X account and all of a sudden can say, oh, I could send dollars to each other, to one another. Or I can, oh, what's this Dogecoin? I can send Dogecoin to one another. There's also going to be Dogecoin ETFs coming. Let me see. I think I made.
Yeah. I mean,
so there's a lot of catalysts for Dogecoin, and this feels like a kind of fun, safe playground. I feel like the culture is really good. I would actually recommend everyone joining. There's a Telegram group called All Anoncoins. And in there's just guys discussing different projects, what they like, what they don't like, and news and things. There's all the normal channels. But yeah, that's a really good Telegram group to just see what's going on and be in the loop.
Gotcha. Damn, that's super interesting. Because I really thank you for like bringing up all this alpha. Like, this is real alpha. I don't see. Is there any other YouTubers that is talking about this right now?
I haven't seen anyone talking about this on YouTube. So
that's crazy. This is what you call like in the last few hours. So we did another 3x. So every day we've been like bringing cooks. So shout out to you guys.
I think every day I've been making several X's on the Discord. And the thing is, I actually didn't really know that Bitcoin was nuking on some days because I'm just trading all of these and having fun doing it and making money. Meanwhile, you're holding, shit coins like Ethereum and they're going to zero. Yeah,
no, completely agree. Bro, Kaza, thank you so much. Obviously, you're going to get Kaza's calls, my calls, Flex's calls, all in my VIP group. It's going to be linked. It's the WAP link that you find in the video description. You're missing out on all of our alpha, and yeah, I would love to see you there because we've actually been managing to print while the market is red, like we were talking about a year. Freaking huge. Kaza, thank you so much. Catch up later.
Thanks for having me.
All right. That was good alpha. Now, going back to, let's just go back to the chart of BTC a second. Like, because a lot of people are saying we're in a bear market, blah, blah, blah. So we need to like think about, let's have like some thoughts about short-term thinking in the market. Obviously, we're looking at some shorts at the moment, but listen, whenever we saw the market really bottom down so much in the fear and greed index, we've always seen big bounces back. Obviously, the last time that this happened was at the end of March, beginning of April this year, and then Bitcoin went to a new all-time high. So historically, history tends to repeat itself. It's not to be taken as financial advice. It's not an indicator of past performances, but things, repeat themselves. History repeats itself. So why wouldn't you buy and accumulate spot positions? We've already talked into the last live stream, but obviously, like, we are also looking at, like, see what for the short term, what the movement of Bitcoin is going to be. Because at the end of the day, if Bitcoin dumps and just flashes through to the 80K territory, all the alts are going to be destroyed, at least for the short term. Yeah, Plex agrees, right?
Absolutely, man.
Oh man, it's not looking good. It's not looking good.
We can delete this, to be honest.
Yeah.
We can delete this.
What's the win rate of the perps call in your VIP group? Bro, what's our win rate? It must be really high. Like,
I mean, we had, so when we do calls in the Discord, we always say, like, wait for confirmation. So the only calls that we didn't get were not even open because confirmation didn't come, right? So obviously we do also weekly TA sessions every Monday. We actually had one earlier today. And then we also do a course on TA on Tuesdays. So we also discuss our calls. We are not doing a lot of scalping at the moment. We are more focusing on swing trading. Scalping will come in, I think, this week, thanks to also Max that is joining us in Discord, and he does a lot of scalp trading. So the success rate is really high. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Cepryl, I don't want to brag, but maybe you tell how the success rate has been. I mean, everyone is printing.
I mean, I want to say that it's been 80 to 90%, which seems crazy, but it's kind of like been like that. Because I think that we got like 2 wrong out of like 15 to 20 calls that were shared.
Yeah, I think that's the average that we have been doing at the moment.
It's all documented. It's all documented. Like, we're not LARPing anything. Like, it's all documented. Like, you can check it out. And I've also been sharing, like, on Telegram and stuff. Like, I also share the things that went wrong. And I think we got a Solana trade wrong last week. I think it was the one that we did. Yeah, we were looking on Pump today, but that didn't come, so we didn't open. So yeah,
exactly.
That's it. And I wanted to also make sure to mention that we also have a new offer for BitUnix that, bro, you deposit $2,000, you get 400 as a bonus, or 5,000, you get 700. So that's freaking huge. You can access that offer for you have until the 15th of December, so this is extremely time sensitive. The link is going to be down in the description. BitUnix is one of the best platforms to trade out there. I use Bluffin, I've used BitUnix. I mean, I used a mix of both, to be honest, and some other ones here and there, but these, I would say, they're the main ones. So I'm glad that we were able to get this offer for the following year. So make sure to access AZP. I've also shared the one of Bluffin a few days ago, so if you prefer to use Bluffin, make sure to use that one. Thanks for the scalp trade on Kick yesterday. Which one was that? I can't remember.
Was it? I think it was BTC, bro. Because I shared BTC also on Kick yesterday.
Yeah, we also have like Kick's profiles. I mean, it's the same. It's Cepryl. We do some other content, but anyway, you can check it out there. I also want to mention Synapse. We've been printing with Synapse. Let's take a look at the chart. Let's take a look at the chart because, yeah, look, actually, look at the dot cap. It's coming back, bro. It's coming back. So I shared this in the Discord around 500-ish K. It went to 1.1 plus mil. And I also brought it on Banter on the Saturday live stream that I have on the main channel of Crypto Banter. So if you're not watching the main streams, again, what the hell are you doing? I brought it to X live. You would have made money immediately. It went back to this accumulation area and then it pumped again. So not sure if I recommend buy now, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, this is still incredible cheap for the things that they're building. It's a meme coin that blends also AI agents. They have a legal entity in the UK. They are as doxed as it gets. They have an AI agent that is speaking on Telegram. They are posting content on X. Is super good, honestly. One of the best projects that I've encountered in the last couple of weeks for sure. And despite the red mark, you see they had the dump and then they pump back up again. So this has been really good. I also made a gamble like the other day on Shadow that it's holding up quite strong, despite the fact that it's a meme and obviously all memes have been nuked. So again, something else that you might want to check out. I've shared this around like 50K or something like that. It went almost 3x, it went to 130K. Obviously, it's extremely degen because it's low cap. So make sure to manage your own risk. This is like extremely, obviously, like it's not safe to gamble right now because Bitcoin is doing what it's doing. But I think that the risk to reward ratio is quite good. And also, I want to give a shout out to them because they're running a giveaway and I'm supporting them directly. So they're giving away $100. All you got to do is literally like, retweet, comment your wallet address, and follow the accounts of all these other chats that have been pushing this project. So, I mean, it's just as simple as it gets, and you can win $100 immediately. So do it now, okay? Takes 1 second. Yeah, so Plex, what would you say? What should we do right now? If people ask us, what do we do in the market? We wait for like some more structure in Bitcoin, I would say. What's the structure you're looking at for Bitcoin to decide whether to go long or short overall?
So I want to wait to see how it behaves in this area here, because if you look at 4 hours chart, let me pull it out like this. So in this area here, you see there are a lot of orders in this area. So I want to see what happens once these orders get closed, which is actually happening live. So let's see how it behaves. I for sure expect a bounce back. I'm not sure it's going to go past the 96. To be honest, I also been talking to a lot of our traders that have buy orders all the way until like 87 because they expect the price to get to this area here for sure. So in the short term, I would be like, if you want to scalp, you can for sure get a bounce back. If you want to swing, I would potentially go short after some confirmations. So this is for Bitcoin. I mean, we were looking earlier, Sep, to Zcash, and I think the short has started on Zcash at the moment. We were waiting for a better entry, not gonna lie, but I think it's starting. Let's see what happens. If it bounces back, maybe we can get another entry. Or
yeah, honestly,
anyway.
Yeah, I'm honestly sick of hearing Zcash to the moon, guys. Like, bro, put the 4 hour chart. For God's sake, let's look at the 4 hour chart, and with the bearishness of the market right now, you look at the 4 hour chart. Don't tell me that this is going to like $2,000 tomorrow. It probably won't, you know. So I think that we could look at like an incredible short right now. Full disclosure, we're not positioned at the moment. We're just looking for like a clear structure. I am bearish short term and bullish in the long term, but I do believe that we're gonna do like an epic short before it goes to like dollars and stuff. Yeah.
Also, what we said a lot is like Zcash has been like behaving in an opposite way of the market for the past days. So it's even difficult, you know, to do TA on something that doesn't really relate to how the market is going. I mean, sometimes it goes down when Bitcoin goes down, sometimes it pumps, but sometimes it goes completely opposite, right? So I think we need to wait and find a better entry if we want to short it. I'm not opening anything now. We're just waiting for something to happen. And anyway, on the long run, I'm really bullish on the narrative. So I think that we will also long it at the right level for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, not in the short term. Guys, smash the like button if you're enjoying the alpha of today. A lot of alpha was shared right here. So drop a like, comment, share with your friends, share with your girlfriend. I don't know. BitUnix, definitely get access if you're interested in following these perps trades. BitUnix or bluffing, you can find the referral links, but there's big offers to just join the platform. And obviously, if you want to get all of our calls, join Cepryl's War Room. This is the place to be because we'll be making money even when all of these trenches are dry, when the market is red. And yeah, I would love to see you there. Plex, any last words?
No, thank you again for having me here. Make sure you join our group. Make sure you join the War Room because, I mean, you heard it from me, you heard it from 𝗙𝗲𝗃, but you can also hear it from all the other members. We've been printing all time. Even in bear market, we've been doing good calls for memes, good calls for perps. So we're really proud of what we're building, and I'm really proud to be part of this team.
Facts. Facts. Appreciate you, bro. Guys, thank you so much. And we'll see you on the next one. Trade safely. Take care.